Hello, my name is Lawson Maz, and my BIO282 lab final project is over the article titled Improved Protein Structure Prediction Using Potentials from Deep Learning. To begin, let's look at an overview of this presentation. It will be split into 4 sections as shown here. For the first section, the focus will be introducing the concepts and articles that are in play in this project, as well as providing clarifications that may be needed. Next, we will look at the news article itself and thoroughly discuss and analyze its contents. Following that, we will look at the scientific paper that the article is referencing and review this paper. We will end the project by bringing together everything that we have learned and discussed and conclude the discussion. Firstly, the introduction and context of the project. So first off, I chose to have the topic of this project to be protein folding because I feel that it is one of the most important focuses in biology in my opinion. All things work off of proteins, so the more we understand them, the better we will be at application of those findings. In search of this topic, I found a New York Times article that discussed the latest findings of protein folding predictions. Following this trail, I found a research paper that discussed an AI neural network system called AlphaFold that was surpassing all competitors in predicting protein folding. DNA may be the building blocks of life, but proteins are the laborers that get the job done. No matter what biological process you look at, proteins are enabling it to exist. Protein functions range from maintaining biochemical balances in the blood and ensuring homeostasis to forming memory cells to better fight off infections. The key to their success and diversity is their ability to fold. Due to the amino acids within proteins, they fold in complex ways that are difficult to identify, understand, and even predict. Because of that, organizations like CASP, Critical Assessment of Protein Structure Prediction, exist to provide incentives and competition between companies to create the most effective forms of protein folding prediction technology that they can. This is what has led to this following article. First, we will move on to the news article and from the one from the New York Times. The New York Times article discussed the results from DeepMind, a lab located in London that has created AlphaFold, the current leading system in predicting protein folding and structure. They discussed the results of the latest CASP competition, which shown AlphaFold to be seriously beyond all other systems there. The article went on to talk about the origins of the lab and their history, as well as the effects that their success will have on creating new medications, as well as other medical needs. It is still in the works and the tech is not perfect, but it is highly promising. The focus of the article was certainly on the bigger picture and describing how this portion of research fit into the overarching context. The details and complicated process used to increase the accuracy of the AI was not described thoroughly, but instead implied to be a complicated system. It went on about the effects of the research and competition itself. Now we'll go over the paper itself. Before moving on and summarizing the paper, there are several terms and things that need to be discussed for future clarity. First is the TM score. A TM score is a scoring system used in CASP to evaluate accuracy with increasing values between 0 and 1. A neural network is an AI system that incorporates algorithms and predictions to identify and use patterns. A diagram is used in this paper and is essentially a histogram that uses distance. A gradient descent is identification of variations in levels of amino acid densities used to better predict the shapes and folding of the amino acids. This is one of the primary techniques used in the paper. The paper described the in-depth process, but it will be simplified for clarification here. First, as can be seen in part B of the figure here, segments of the MSA features are separated and predictions are run independently of each part. Those parts are also use a gradient descent method to better simulate the mesh shapes of the amino acids. These predictions are repeated for ideal accuracy. Using the neural networking algorithms that were created by the London AI lab, they translate the data into protein folding designs as seen at the top of C and at D in the figure above. The paper went through the in-depth process of going through algorithmic steps to create a model using these techniques and many more to complete a model with as much accuracy as possible. The paper talked about the results from the CASP assessment and how they compare to others. They described the calculations and accuracy of results being higher than any other system present, but so far from the predictions. As you can see in the graph on the bottom right, A was the original protein, whereas B is what the AI system was able to identify. Now the overall look and comparison between the two. In comparing them both, we see that the news article's focus was on the big picture and the context around the discovery as a whole, where the lab had come and from where the new findings would take them. The research paper was certainly focused on the research and discovery itself and the results at CASP. They both discussed that the results from CASP exceeded all other systems, but the New York Times Post described the innovation in a light that failed to show the actual results were exceedingly well but not perfect. They described it without discussing the major gap that still exists in protein folding predictions. The article also talked little on the process and components that came together to create the results they made, but I do not see that as mistreatment. At the end of the day, this project's goal was to assess the accuracy that media has in presenting research papers to the public. This is only one sample, so the conclusion to here may not stand over all media and use of scientific research, but for this situation, each piece played their role. The scientific paper described in a precise and scientific manner their procedure and findings. The news article took the results described and wove it into a narrative that gave a bigger picture and made it so anyone reading could understand the importance of the research. Each played their role without overstepping or misusing any information in the end. Here are the references, and thank you.